Hello and welcome to, I think this is episode 458 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. We are here for SmackDown's final pay-per-view of 2023. It is Armageddon. We are in... where are we? Let's decide right now. Because I don't want to just do New England, that's boring. We are in... Portland, Oregon for tonight's show. And yeah, our main event is the Armageddon Hell in a Cell making its return. Io Sky defends the WWE Women's Championship against Dakota Kai, Utami Hayashishita, Asuka, Candice LeRae, and Bianca Belair inside the Armageddon Hell in a Cell. We also have LA Knight, Ilya Dragunov, and Swerve Scott for the World Heavyweight Championship. A fatal four-way for the US title between Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Pete Dunne, all challenging Solo Sikoa. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Creeds for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. We've got Pistolero versus David Martin. We've got Duel in the Deep Woods between Tiffany and Mariah against Alba and Iona Webb. And we have Montes Ford taking on Angelo Dawkins. All that and, more, I guess, on tonight's show, which, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into it. We start on the pre-show in Chase U versus Chase U. And in 10 minutes and 31, it is Chase U who defeats Chase U. That being the Chase U OGs, Bodhi, Thea, and Haley, beating Shane Reynolds, Morgan Daniels, and Hamza Katana, when Thea pins Morgan in 10:31. Haley with a 54, 43 for Thea, 34 for Bodhi, 69 for Ham, 75 for Morgan, and 51 for Shane Reynolds. I imagine Andre Chase is out there, but he doesn't factor into it. He's just watching on, because we're all good now. Keith Lee, his Christmas cheer made everyone now like each other again in Chase U, and Chase U could be saved by one man. That man being Keith Lee. Opening segment. Guess that's 78. Hype video. We're hyping up, the 6 women in the main event, as well as LA Knight and Seth Rollins, because those are 2 of the other top guys on the show. And I think our opening match is David Martin taking on Pistolero in a rematch from their SmackDown match where, we didn't get a decisive winner because David got knocked out. And 85, go on, boys. David Martin pins Pistolero in 13:29 with, I guess I've got to change his finisher now, to, a half crab. He submits him with a half crab. Yes. 88 for Pistolero, 67 for David. And yeah, big win for... I'm going to keep calling him David. It's going to take some time. David. Yeah. We then cut back to the Queen. Of course, the Queendom locker room is getting showing on this show. Yeah. Tegan sat there. And Piper's there. She's like comforting her best friend. She's like, listen, it should have been us, Piper. It should have been us. She goes, but, it in defense of Io and Dakota, we did get our title shot and we did lose. It's like, yeah, I know, but... And then Cammy's like, shh. Our queen and our deputy are coming and they have brought gold with them. And then the door opens and Dakota and Io walk in with their belts, all happy. They hug Cammy and Utami, of course. And then Dakota's like, well, you're going to say congratulations, little mascot. And Tegan's like, yeah, good job, bringing gold to the Queendom. And it's like, well, anyway, step 1 of our plan is complete. Io and Dakota, they are the women's tag team champions. But tonight we need to make sure that the Joshi Judas, the women's world champion, Io Sky, remains just that. Okay? Now, there's 3 of us, and there's 3 of them, so we're on pretty even playing field, but if anything, slightly higher than the even playing field, because we're better than them. So, I know it's every woman for herself tonight, And while Dakota and Utami, I'm sure you would both love to be Women's World Champion. Tonight we gotta just, it's Io's night. It's Io's night. 86. Yes. Tag team match. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the Creed brothers. And in 14-17, it is a defense for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They defeat the Creeds. In 14-17, Sami pins Julius with the Haluva kick to make defense number 3 of the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Sami with a 91, 82 for Kevin Owens, 69 for Brutus Creed, 58 for Julius Creed. And yeah, I know they could have won and obviously got more pop from that, but just having this match on pay-per-view with that rating will help the Creeds a lot. And realistically, they probably are like one of the top tag teams in terms of stature on the brand, but their popularity I don't really think is at the level where I could have had them go over here. Maybe down the line they can be built up for a rematch, but Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they're like the Creeds who are like in their 40s. Then after the match, Regal's in the ring, and we just get a shake of hands, sportsmanship between the Creeds and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Because Regal, he's been the dastardly villain with the Regal Coalition. Now he's just, he's in the giving back phase. He's in the respected veteran phase. And yeah, the Creeds and Sami and Kevin shake hands, Babyface, lovely, wholesome stuff. 82, bleh. It's a mid-card pay-per-view match, sure. But Montes Ford does defeat Angelo Dawkins. And yeah, he pins him with a frog splash because Oro Mensah gets involved. 85 for Montes Ford, 76 for Angelo Dawkins. And yeah, I just needed a quick filler feud for Montes Ford. This made the most sense, and it was a way to bring Angelo back because he hadn't really been factored in for a while. But yeah, Montes Ford have a win here tonight at Armageddon. Hype video. This show's going to be flying by because, there's only 7 matches on the main show, but that's because the main event is going I think it's 42 minutes. I said it as. I think it's outside of a Rumble and maybe a one-off Survivor Series or War Games or Elimination Chamber, that sort of thing. The longest match I've booked in the entire save. But even then, I'm pretty sure it's gone longer than most Elimination Chambers I've booked. So, you've got that to look forward to. Anyway, this Fatal 4-Way is the first of 3 matches tonight that I think could do really fucking well. And I was going to go, this one might not get a 99 because it's got Solo in it, but Solo, when he had less popularity than this back in February, he got a 99. Saray was just in a 98. So, I guess we'll see. Well, there we fucking go. 99. I told you. Bryan was off his game. So, if of all people, it may have been Daniel Bryan that stopped this getting a 100. But yeah, 89 minutes. 18 minutes, 29 seconds. And yeah, this is a fucking absolute barn burner. Seth, he's trying to fight back on top, trying to get that title from the monster he created, his Frankenstein monster. Pete Dunne wants that title back. Bryan, oh no, he's just a fucking dickhead. He wants that belt to parade it around. And then there would come a point where, Seth, he curb stomps Solo. He curb stomps Solo again. He goes into the corner, he goes for the 3rd curb stomp. He nails Solo with that 3rd curb stomp. Cover, 1, 2, and Bryan pulls the referee out. Boo. And Seth's like, what the fuck are you doing? I could have got the belt of this guy, We could have ended this run. And Bryan's like, well, I don't fucking want you being the champion, bitch. And Seth and Bryan get into a fight in the ring. They spill to the outside. Ends with, I don't know what spot, because it's Seth. Actually, I do know the spot. The spot we're going to do is Seth's going to get the steel steps, put him up against the announce desk. Because we don't need the announce desk for the cell. I'll spoil it now. Nobody's going off the top of the cell, so we don't need the announce desk at all. And Seth will hit, a falcon arrow off the steps on Bryan through the announce table. It'll explode. Both men are down. And then, of course, we get back into the ring. Pete Dunne goes a bit of red. And then as he goes up, Solo sticks a thumb in his throat. And then another spike. And Solo retains. In a 99 rated match. 94 for Seth Rollins, 87 for Pete Dunne, 95 for Daniel Bryan, and 83 for Solo Sikoa. Korea is throwing fucking tomatoes at their screen right now seeing this result. But still, United States Champion, Solo Sikoa. Speaking of matches that could score a 99, LA Knight, Swerve Scott, and Ilya Dragunov. Triple threat match, World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Who will be the one to leave Portland as the World Heavyweight Champion, and who will be the one, presumably, to enter 2024 as the World Heavyweight Champion? 86. That was really disappointing. LA Knight's gimmick is getting stale, and it's really hurt his performance. And apparently there was a lack of psychology. But this match is three men who, all want to be at the top. Ilya, Swerve, LA Knight. Realistically, I don't want to pin anybody in this match. But one of my main issues with, to a lesser extent, current WWE, but definitely current AEW, is they're always too afraid to pin people. This is three people who deserve to be in world title matches, because it's a man who beat the fuck out of John Cena, a man who won at Survivor Series and the champion. This is a natural match to do, but real life companies would be scared to do a match like this because we've got to pin somebody. It's fine. Beat somebody. On that note, LA Knight pinned Swerve a BFT to make defense number 1 of the World Heavyweight title. He'll be fine. He took an L. 90 for Ilya, 91 for Swerve, 83 for LA Knight. But I just went on that rant about pinning people, but I do think there is a line where you don't want to pin people too often. And Ilya was towing that line, so, he didn't get pinned. But Swerve did. So, We then head back to the SmackDown GM's office, and Triple H is in there speaking to both of them, like he spoke to Batista on Raw. Something about the Rumble this year, and then he walks out. When Trick Williams walks in, he goes, "Nick, Adam, I know it's pay-per-view, and I know, you're probably busy with the pay-per-view, but I've got a lead on, who I think took me out. I was listening to what Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn said yesterday, and I've been putting other pieces together, and I think that, I think I know who did it, and I would like to invite Mello back next week to get his thought on things." And Pierce and Nick Aldis go, Carmelo Hayes left to go to Raw. It might be a bit difficult to, get in contact with him, but we'll ask if he's interested, and we'll ask Batista if it's possible. And Trick goes, "Thank you." 70 rated match here, whatever. It's probably did better than it should have because it was cinematic. Looking at the ratings, 76 for Alba, 39 for Iona, 59 for Tiffany, and a 31 for Mariah May. But in the duel in the deep woods, it's a cinematic based match in a dark forest. There's spider's webs there. One of Tiffany or Mariah gets thrown into a spider's web. Maybe even with a comically large spider or something to crawl on one of their shoulders, and they scream about it and hit it off. One of them gets thrown into the black cauldron and gets black goo all over themselves again. But in the end, Tiffany and Mariah do win. They walk into Alba Fire and Iona Webb's front lawn, and Tiffany takes her trophy back. It says knockout, but it's not knockout. I tried to set it as item retrieval finish, but the game was you need to have ladders in there if you do that. But, so, the reality of the match ends when Tiffany gets her trophy back and, runs. I imagine she does get it and then she runs away, fighting off all these horrible fucking jungle creatures that are there to, creep up on her. And I always do this whenever heels wins in a matches like this. In the end, the witch is just you know what, we've had our fun, just let them go. It was funny watching them come here and, get worried and scared and, get thrown into spiders' webs and thrown into our witchy shit. We've got more important things to do than worry about that trophy. We just like to mess with them because it's funny. And it is, because they're baby faces doing it to heel, so therefore it's funny. But if it was the other way round, it wouldn't be funny. Hoo boy, main event time. Io, Dakota, Utami, Asuka, Bianca, Candice. This could be anywhere from an 82 to a 100. Like I said, it's gone like 40 odd minutes. I'm pretty sure it's one of the longest matches in Challenge Run history that's not a Royal Rumble. I've scripted it because even though they've all got the psychology too cool in ring, I don't trust this fucking game at all. So I stuck the Undertaker on as road agent and scripted it, so hopefully it won't be dinged as much as it would have if I didn't do that. And I am really, really stalling right now, so I should probably just bite the bullet and click next segment. 94. Good banger, but like not the 100 rated match I was hoping for, but I can't realistically complain about a 94. Anyway, so the field is laid out in front of you. Asuka, Candice, Bianca, Dakota, Utami, Io. And Queendom have made a point, we need to keep that title on Io. This is our Queendom. We're going to keep dominating. Io and Dakota are the tag team champions now. So, yeah. But, on the other side of the field, you do have Candice and Bianca, who, in their own right, could probably have a Hell in a Cell match with how long they've been at each other's throats. Asuka, she's in there. She's a wild card. She's going to use the weapons and the mist and shit. Imagine there's a lot of spots I do have in mind. One specific spot, I would be like, they did it in the New Day Usos match where they trapped one of them in the corner with like the kendo sticks. Bianca would do the same thing to Candice, but instead of whipping her with a stick, it would be with her braid, because I think that would be funny. And, Queendom are working together as a unit, so at some point, Candice and Asuka do have to call a truce, or Candice and Bianca even, have to call a truce with Asuka and, try and take them out. Dakota takes some bump to the outside, through a table, but, the cage is there, so it looks fucking painful. And then, we cut it down to, Asuka is in the ring with Utami. Those are the only two left in the ring. And Asuka goes for the mist again, but Utami, blocks it with a chair or some shit, and, hits a big knee on Asuka. And Utami then lays her out with a finisher. And she goes 1, 2, and then Io breaks up the pin. And Utami's like, what the fuck? I had it. And Io goes, no, it's my pin. And then we sort of get them two bickering. Dakota has to try and come in the middle and try and break it up. And then which leads to Candice drop kicking Dakota, and then we go back. But we've now learned that it is every woman for herself in this match. Io has just broken up a Queendom pin. And Bianca and Candice, I don't know what spot it would be, but there'd be some spot that's they both on the top rope, they get shoved off and then fall to the outside, crash against the cage through another table or some shit like that. And Dakota and Asuka are fighting at it, as Utami and Io are just catching their breath. And Asuka then gets back in the ring, and she does knock out Utami with a kick. She fights back, she knocks Dakota down as well with a kick, and then turns around, Io's there, she hits that springboard drop kick on Asuka, and she goes up to the top rope. She hits the moonsault on Utami, who's on the floor, and Io pins the air to make defense number 5 of the women's world title. 91 for Asuka, 86 for Candice, 87 for Bianca, 77 for Dakota, 84 for Utami, and 97 for Io. And yeah, I guess Queendom's job is done. The SmackDown 6, they entered Hell in a Cell, they went to war, and in the end, and still, Io, she celebrates with her belt, Dakota was in there, She got the tag belt, like she hands the tag belt to Io, and raises Io's arms, sort of looks up at the belt like, I could have had it, but it's Io's. And Utami sort of gets up and she looks across at Io. And Io's like, come on, celebrate with me. And Dakota goes, come on, the Queen won. And she just sort of looks. And she's like, what the fuck? But of course, in the end, our job is accomplished. Mission is accomplished. She does celebrate with Io and Dakota. And that's how SmackDown's pay-per-view run for 2023 comes to an end. In a show that gets a 100. Apparently I bought a set and a celebrity. But yes. Genuinely, this and the ECW pay-per-view are both in the same boat, where, there's a lot of matches that are great on there, but there's also just fun matches that wouldn't normally make pay-per-view, like David Martin versus Pistolero, and the Tiffany Stratton match here, and this. And the ECW card is the same. So, in that regard, these are two of my, favourite pay-per-view match cards I've put together. But what matters more is what you thought of the show. Do let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for Raw, their Christmas special, I guess, and the last episode of Raw of 2023. See you then.